We have a bit of a divergence on the delta. Price has not made a new low, whereas delta has made a new low. Let's go. Oh. Oh. Flush. Dunzo. Dunzo. Man. Should have cut it when I had the chance. This might be a big loss for me, guys. I was long way too early. It's continuing down. The end. Crushed. Crushed. So much for being in a balanced market. Oh shit. It just came back. Well, not crushed. It was crushed. Not crushed anymore. Oh, I got so lucky. That was luck. That was not skill.
India's government.
Well,
supporter welcoming Putin to India later this year.
I'm going to shut myself out of this one. I don't know if I'll get a payout because it went definitely worse than 30% of my, it was only for about 2 minutes, but we'll see what they say. I'll put the payout in and they'll either deny it or they'll give it to me. But that's some bullshit Apex rules for you. You have to worry about that stuff. Yeah, 100%. So much for quitting till 1. Right, Chuck? He's back and he's bad. That was just another giant flush out. This is some crazy price action, guys. Big rotations. 75-point rotations. How big was that? Been denied on that 30% 2 times on the same account. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I don't know, guys. That's tough. I think it's interesting they're the only prop firm that has that rule. Well, we'll see if I get it. If not, whatever. Keep trading it. They give you a chance to keep trading, don't they?
That GDP index will change at 3.34%. And on that GDP now index, little change at 3.34%.
Well, we'll see. We will see if I get that payout. Hit my profit goal. I mean, that was really damn close. Had a little too much size for that flush out, but you know, I was super early. I was here at lower band. And then I was looking for the bounce at the weekly lower band, added serious size right down here. Looking for a quick retracement to get out at lower band. We didn't get it. It went whoosh right through it. Flushed everybody. Yeah, Marco was tough yesterday, Leon. You weren't alone on that. So it wasn't the trailing intraday that nailed me. I actually, I didn't get liquidated or stopped out. They have a rule that you can't risk more than 30% of your profits. And if I'm up, 4K, right? If you're up 4K, that's $1,200 you can risk. You can't risk more than $1,200 on a trade. That one for a split second probably went red by 2K. So that's a little more than 30%. It's probably like 50%. So we'll see. Whatever. I'm going to be transparent about it, and if I apply for a payout and I don't get it, you guys will know. I'll tell you. And if they want to, if that's kind of their legacy, that's so be it, I mean, this price action real easy to cut up. Good again, caught off sides. There were some good setups. This flush out could have taken a lot of people out. There was a price discovery continuation short right there at 478. So I'm going to shut this account down and I'll trade something. I'll trade my FundedNext. Guys, I'm going to do a FundedNext giveaway today at 11 o'clock. FundedNext. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, I just did a full review on FundedNext on YouTube. If you want to check them out. Or Apex. You go to my YouTube channel. So this is the YouTube channel. You scroll down, go to videos right here, FundedNext. I did a full review on it. I just published it about a day ago. So go check that out. And we're going to give an account away at 11 o'clock. So stay tuned for that, everybody. I don't know. You can copy trade. Their combined allocation doesn't exceed $300,000. So you can do any combination of FundedNext accounts as long as it doesn't exceed 300K. So if you have three 100Ks, you can do that, or you can trade six 50Ks. So it cannot exceed a total of 300K. And there's no activation. Yeah, they also pay out in crypto. Some people, if you're international, it's in the review, guys. I talk about for my international clients or international members here. If you have trouble getting payouts because of banking issues with the US-based firms, FundedNext is in Dubai. So they're a lot more friendlier to anybody with banking issues. Some people trade in countries where there's sanctions. So getting paid in crypto might be the best option for you. So FundedNext is a great option for you guys. All right, now we're starting to build some chop down here. We got a point of control down here at 70. All right, so we can expect to stay in this. We might flesh it out more to the upside. That 480 seems to be the low volume node. 43, 42. Seems to be the low volume node. 43, 42. TR said, hey, when you say serious size, how many micros are we talking? I think I had 70 micros on that trade. It was a lot. Chat. 70 micros. Back to my old ways of swinging some size, sonny. I did that to get out of the trade before it cooked me. I needed a bounce. Stay was word. Why are you worried about, it's first of all, it's a prop firm, right? So how worried can I get? Right? I'm limited to the exposure of the $100 I spent on that PA and the $20 I spent on the evaluation. Not even, I think it was $15. All in, my loss would have been $115. Now, of course, there's the time I spend. That's why I trade a lot of different accounts. Now, I'm the first person to admit I got lucky on that. I'm not going to say that was strategic. I'm not going to say that was like my plan. It was not. The plan should have been to cut it when we broke probably 83, and we went down another 20 points from there pretty fast. So my thinking shifted to, all right, well, if we get back down to this value area low and this weekly upper band, I'll hit it with some size. We'll get a little bounce, and I'll be able to get out real quick. But you can't count on luck, right? Because, there's been plenty of times I've done that and it didn't work out so well. The account was finito. But so I think my next move is I'm going to go back to my 5 150K accounts on Top Step. See if I could get another 5-digit payout on those. It's always a good time. It's just such a drag trading 5 copy traded combines, getting to 9K, and then just starting all over again. It's just such a grind. But it is what it is. I've done it many, many times. I did it every month for the last 3 months. September is the first month I haven't done it. I've been trading these 50Ks, which I got to pay out on one of them, and I'm going to put in for another payout on this Apex one. So we'll see, on top of all my other trading I'm doing. Crypto. I had a banger on crypto last night, guys. I don't know if anybody joined the crypto stream last night and saw that. I was short this shit coin right here, 56.55. It was awesome. It happened so fast. So baby is it's a scam coin, guys. The whole project is if you hold this coin, they give you 12% of every transaction as a reward in Tethercoin, USTD. So, nobody wants to hold these things. They can be very volatile. They often get pumped and dumped. Yeah, scam coin, right? So this is not all that different. I've been trading more of these, looking for the shorts on the pumps, and I've been doing really, really well with these. I haven't been copy trading because they're so much riskier. Maybe eventually I will. But it's been working well so far. It brings me back to my small cap shorting days. All right, still chopping around right under. We're at the value area low here. At least on TradingView. Value rose about, I don't know, 63. So we're about 7 points away from it now. Yeah, without the halts or the limit downs. That's exactly right. And not having to pay to borrow the shares. That was expensive in itself. Sometimes, guys, to get enough shares to short these small caps, I'd spend $1,000 just to get the shares. So you're $1,000 in the hole before I even took a trade. Can you imagine that? You guys complain about commissions. Try paying borrow fees. Hey, the crypto stream is open to everybody. Jonathan, FundedNext does support TradeAvate. I'm actually going to move over to my FundedNext account here in a second, and it's on TradeAvate. So Jonathan, FundedNext has a CFDs version and a futures version. The CFD is obviously going to be on MetaTrader. If you trade the futures side, you'll be able to trade on TradeAvate. And the YouTube is not a 30-minute delay, but it's at least usually a minute or two. All right, so we have questions on the table in the top right. Yeah, I was profitable until I took a banger of a loss. I had a run, and this is why Ross brought me in to do the course. I made $250,000 in 3 months. And Ross paid me a lot of money to come and write a course for him. I didn't do it for free. And you know, he audited me, I had to submit all my broker statements, all this stuff.
So let's go to get the EI crude oil inventories. Forecast for oil inventories is for a build of 1.766 million. Prior was a build of 3.939 million. Gasoline inventory.
Now, mind you, that was during a bear market. That might have had something to do with it. When you're a short on small caps in a bear market. The longs were struggling, that's for sure. This is 2022. Over 3 years ago already. Wild. I'm watching the base here. It sure looks weak. Cumulative delta is still going sideways. So I'm not convinced of a break quite yet. Might be just another rotation up after this. Wouldn't be surprised. I think it's a better long than a short if you're not already short. If you had to be short up here, I wouldn't short here. Yeah, CVD is pretty flat. Hey, Bill Kelly. Good morning, Chris. I read your book twice and started trading this morning. 1 lots on NQ and ES. So far, I'm up $940. Thank you. You're welcome, Bill. I'm assuming you were shorting. Price discovery continuation short here. If you were taking it off the lower band, you were printing 10 points every time. Adds up. I would like to wish everybody a happy FOMC day from our friend J Pow.
Just looking at the API data from last night for the EI crude oil inventories. API crude oil stock change came in at a draw. 3.42 million compared to the expected draw of 1.6 million.
Sorry, noob here. I'm not understanding what looks like deviation bands on the highs and lows. Okay. Okay. So these are anchored volume profile, anchored VWAPs. Trevor. Okay. So these, we have capitulation candles. This comes with the VWAP Wave System toolkit. And when we have a volume event, like a capitulation or a news candle or even the open, all right, it will tag a anchored VWAP to the bottom of a capitulation down candle and the top of capitulation up candle. And this shows you who's been in control essentially since the volume event. And then you could trade these just like the regular setups. So guys, this is not an actual photo of JPOW. This is ChatGPT's finest work. He actually looks a lot older than this now. He actually looks pretty good in this photo. He's aged considerably as chairman of the Fed under Trump's presidency. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video of, okay, we're breaking lower here. We're testing the lows right here. Cumulative delta is weak. No, not delta is not weak, actually. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong chart. Now we got some sellers, but I'm not convinced. It could bleed from here. We have not made a low on the delta. Russell and Dow still at session highs. We're pretty close to them. Very interesting. So the Russell makes sense because small caps are heavily reliant on loans and cash. So lower interest rates is really beneficial to small cap equities. So they're rallying based on the rate cut, which makes sense. This was the chart to trade, man. If you guys were looking for price discovery continuation to the upside, Russell was the play, guys. Beautiful setups here on the Russell. Monthly VWAPs right here, 422. Or on NQ. We're really far from NQ. Monthly VWAP. Monthly VWAP's way down here at 326. All right. Now I'm convinced Delta's starting to turn lower. We could have a considerable move from here. So no longs. We do have a low volume node right here at 428. Let me get in another account here.
One minute to go now. We'll leave with crude oil inventories.
We got crude oil inventories coming out here in 1 minute.
Seconds.
Are you talking about tomorrow? Are you talking about Russell? All right, we have an initial balance.
9.285 million, draw of 9.285 million, at the expected build of 1.766 million. EIA gasoline inventories, a draw of 2.347 million, draw of 2.347 million, compared to the expected build of 0.675 million. Distillate inventories build of 4.046 million, build of 4.046 million, compared to the expected build of 1.1 million. Fishing inventories.
All right, I'm back in a FundedNext account. And we're going to give away a FundedNext account. So here's our Madonna. I'll take it. Yes. Right to work. Not a bad start. Anybody take that Madonna? Yeah, that was the Madonna. Technically, yes. Technically speaking, that was it. The initial balance was formed, and you can see the little wick beneath it. You're welcome, Christian. 2 years trading, I tried everything up to ICT, but for the first time, I have context of how the market moves. Today, I profit in gold, thanks to your book, Chris. You're very, very welcome. So the Madonna trade is the setup we have. It's the first touch of initial balance. Once we have an initial balance set, guys, the first hour of trading, the high and the low, the Madonna trade, the Madonna setup is the first test of the initial balance, and we fade it. We typically look for the rejection. Why is it called the Madonna? Because the initial balance was touched for the very first time.
People talk USMCA and trade Visa and Visas with Canada's payment card.
I mean, technically speaking, yes. Absolutely. We had an initial balance, it set, we tested it, and it rejected. Even if it's right there. Yep. If you get a wick below the initial balance, it was clearly tested. You can't have a wick below it or above it.
Use crude exports was the highest since December 2023.
If there wasn't a rejection at it, right? If it was still forming, there wouldn't be a wick below it. All right, so the top right. This is the VWAP dashboard. All right, so intraday, we're below the VWAP. Weekly, we're below the VWAP, but we're above the monthly VWAP. All right, so we're in short-term pullback territory. But on the longer picture, we're still bullish. Weekly standard deviation, that means we're below the weekly lower band, but we're above the monthly upper band, right? So, you know, we're kind of in a bit of a mixed market. You know, we've made all-time highs, and now we're in a pullback, right? So that's kind of what the table's telling me. Gives me higher time frame insight right in this table without really having to look at it. What's really powerful is when it all lines up. Nice, Chuck. Good short. Nice, LJ Biz. Of course, Nav. My pleasure. All right, 25 minutes. We'll do a giveaway. Poor Oxter is going to mix it. He's the biggest fan of giveaways. Hi, Sally. Yeah. Control, discipline. Hey, Corey. Where you been?
And
All that work stuff. Getting in the way of your trading stuff. Chuck has his own acronyms too. ACH. ACH. You want to make an automatic check deposit or withdrawal? Chuck's your man. ACH. I did not hear about that one now. Those look like the previous session low volume nodes, Frank. That looks like this here. Low volume nodes. So enabled gives you the previous session. Real time gives you the current low volume nodes in the developing session. Enable the previous sessions will stay static, they won't repaint. Real time developing low volume nodes will repaint. Those look like more than real time. Those look like the previous session to me.
According to the IAV's net imports of crude oil the latest lowest in records going back to 2001.
That's what it looks like. There's really nothing else it would be. And I think they are because they're the same color as your real-time low volume nodes. Same exact color.
Bank of Canada considered holding overnight rate steady to Bank of Canada's maximum speaking conference. So the video is on feed. And in that inflation picture hasn't changed much since January.
Uncheck both the real-time and enabled. Uncheck both. Okay, well, what are you using for that green color?
That commands that there are still some mixed signals on inflation.
You sure it's not another indicator you're using? Because I see a bunch of them up there. Oh, they're all hidden. What's that one right above it? Is that the previous initial balance?
Maxwell says we're not being as forward-looking as normal. Malcolm says that we have more comfort looking at an upward pressure on CPI.
And I definitely have a low volume node there.
Malcolm said that we will be assessing the impact of government announcements on targeted support and support for big projects.
All right, we're at a low volume node here. I'm going to take a little stab down here. A little stabacito. Five points. 10 points. Now it's back testing IB. Hello, I just got out there. 10-point scalp. Low volume node to that IB low. Does anybody know who says scalpacito? Where I picked that up from? A little scalpacito. There's another streamer that always says that. Who's very entertaining. Spanish química. Muy bien. Muchas gracias. No, not Wheeling. It's Rips. Rips always says that. Scalpacito. Yep, Rips. That's right, Kingdom Citizen. You got it. So the low volume node disappeared. Why? Because we traded through it and filled it up. So now we have a new one down here. 406. So much for getting out of my longs. Looks like I'm holding.
Malcolm says we do need to consider where inflation is going. Inflationary pressures look a little more contained.
Nope, it's back. The moving LVNs. And we can get some insight into it. Let's render it and let's take a look. All right, so we're actually at the bottom right here. This actually might be an interesting place to long in general.
Like Liz says, if risks to further, we're prepared to take more risk. We'll take it one meeting at a time.
This is more of like a zone down to 420. That's kind of where we went to. A little bit of a bottom there on the cumulative delta, at least temporarily. Temporary bottom on the delta. Could easily continue to bleed out lower. Yep, there it goes. I'm going to cop out of that one for now. There's no short locations down here, Eric. We are far away from any short setup. So you're either looking for a contrarian long or you're already short, but there's no more short setups. If you're short, great, keep holding. Last short setup was the back test of the IB. Well, that was the second retest. So the first one was here, and we ripped up against it. But there's a higher time frame. So what happens with a lot of you guys is you get so dialed in on the intraday chart that you forget about the higher time frames. Do you see anything on the higher time frame that's interesting, Eric? All right, Tyler, thanks for joining us.
I have the senior deputy governor, Rogers, says we're not proposing any change in the deposit rate now.
11 points. Morning, Jose. Welcome to the stream. I'll take off a few here. We can keep going. All right, almost up 20 points long. Awesome, Scott. Who's Jose? Almost up. All right, 20 points right here. Take another one off. Let's see if we can get the bigger play here. I'll take one at 455 if we get there. Banger. Still long from 413. So Ramiro asked why I don't use second deviation bands. I do use second deviation bands. They're on my monitors over here. But you know, I don't need them on this streaming screen. They're not really setup locations. I use them more for indications of strength, like when we're trading along them. Back to IB low. Got some sellers defending IB low there. I'm not turning this one into a loser. I got my stop at break even for the remaining 2 contracts. Dow, new highs. Russell, new highs. Big reason I'm not looking to like jump short so hard, guys. We got FOMC this afternoon, and we have 2 other indexes making highs on the session. The Dow is up almost spot 7. The S&P is barely red. It's about to be flat. Not as red as you think out there. There isn't blood in the streets. So everybody calm down. Yeah, and Nvidia is pulling down the NASDAQ for sure. My stocks are holding up relatively well compared to what the NQ is doing. And the S&P has never broken out of its pre-market range. We're still in the pre-market range with the S&P. I mean, prices in discovery on the shorter, lower time frames, right? So you guys have to realize is that we can be in price discovery on the day, but we could be in balance on the week or the month, right? Time frames are fractal.
Macklin says we're a long way from even contemplating QE.
And that's why we do multi-time frame analysis, because there's things happening on the higher time frames that we need to be aware of. The higher time frame always takes priority over the intraday chart. Always, 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 always. So if you're not looking at higher time frames, you're missing a big piece of the picture. I can tell you right now that the hedge funds and banks, they're not trading on the 1 minute chart.
Macklin says that I'm not expecting a recession.
The high frequency trading firms probably are, but those aren't real human traders to begin with. Cloud, yeah, we're hoping by the, fingers crossed, by the end of the week is a possibility. I can't make promises, but it was floated as a possibility that it would be available by the end of the week. But I can't promise it. Obviously, I'm not the one doing the development, so I'm limited in what I can do aside from giving them a hard time about it, which I have been every day. I said I have people chomping at the bits for this stinking indicator. They want it. We're going to deliver it. And then, of course, they were like, okay, so we'll do this as an add-on. And I was like, no, we're not doing it as an add-on. This is going to be included. About to stop me out. Break even on the remainder of my contracts. Nope. Nice try. Might take it, though, because it looks like it's getting ready to fail. So. I would say the 1 hour and the 1 hour chart's fine. Ramiro. And then price isn't always in discovery after it passes the deviation band, the one standard deviation band. It is one of a few indicators we use. We also use the volume profile because we can be in balance on the profile and above or below the standard deviation band. So, there's more than one tool. VWAP by itself is very powerful, but it's not the only tool we use to analyze what's happening on with the order flow. It is great without the CVD. I don't even know if I'm going to use the CVD because, as you guys know, it's not a real CVD. No indicator on TradingView is a real CVD. It's impossible. Zierman's indicator is not a real CVD either. but it helps keep some people on the right side of the trade if it helps you. And then also, you know, it's a little laggy, right? Because it's smoothing it out with moving averages and signals and things like that in Heikin Ashi. And by nature, Heikin Ashi and signal lines, they lag price, which is why I don't use them. I use the real CVD off of Trade of 8 or NinjaTrader. But everybody has their own kind of little nuances and ways of doing things, so I want to make it available. Yep. I don't think you could see it, Ramiro, but I got the volume profile. I have it up on the left side of the screen here. All right, who wants to do a giveaway? All right, awesome. You guys would do me a favor. Head on over to the YouTube real fast. Make sure you hit the like button on the YouTube channel. The engagements, obviously the more engagement we get, the more inclined these guys are to give us these accounts to give away. I don't buy these, they give them to me to give away. Full transparency. So you got to find out if it's, I mean, most of the brokers are using it. If you're using Trade of 8 or NinjaTrader or AMP, they all have bid exchange data. Rhythmic. Thank you. It's just TradingView is unique because it's charting software. It's web-based for the most part. There is an app, but it's still what they do is they aggregate the data to make it run faster and use less resources for both them and the user. All right, giveaway time. The way this is going to work, we're giving away a FundedNext account. Lower NQ goes. You know, it'd be so funny is the Fed rate thing comes out and all of these, everybody who's short gets squeezed out. But we'll see. S&P is only down spot 12. All right, so the way this is going to work, I'm going to say a word, and the word is not word. I'm going to say a word. You're going to put it in the chat. Putting the word in the chat is going to enter you for the giveaway. You don't have to put the word 10 times in the chat. The way we do it is we compile a list of everybody who does the word, and then a user is chosen at random by ChatGPT. So you don't have to spam the chat. One time we'll do it, I promise. All right? All right, guys. So the word that you're going to put in the chat is rate cut. You're going to put rate cut in the chat. Rate cut in the chat, and that will qualify you to win a FundedNext account. I'm going to tee up ChatGPT over here to help us do this. All right, so we are doing a giveaway. All right, 30 more seconds to put the word rate cut
down 2.8%.
in the chat. 30 more seconds. Oh, that's annoying. All right, guys, 10 more seconds. Either's fine, Dr. Schaefer. Either will work. It's just making a list of everybody. I just needed the list of names, essentially. All right, 5, 4, get them in. 3, 2, 1. Everybody's trying to be at the bottom. All right, doors are closed. Doors closed. All right, we got that. And then we're going to add YouTube. One second, guys, as I just orchestrate this list real quick. One second, guys, as I just orchestrate this list real quick. Okay, here we go. Can I get a drum roll, please? Drum roll, please. And the winner of a brand new funded account is... Okay, here we go. Can I get a drum roll, please? And the winner is... Come on, ChatGPT. You're killing my vibe here. Brrr. Chad Stevens. Chad Stevens, 593. Haha, you are the winner. Chad Stevens, welcome to the stream. You are the winner. Congratulations. All you have to do is DM me in the Discord. Send me a direct message with your name and email. I'll get it over to FundedNext, and we are going to get you set up. Congratulations. I have one more to give away this week, so stay tuned to the stream. We'll do it either tomorrow or Friday. Friday, it's always fun. Maybe we'll do it Friday.
News conference by VOC's Macklin has ended.
Got some buyers stepping in here. A little bit of a rounded bottom. Not yet, but it could be starting to form. There we go. Delta is looking a little more healthy here. Who's that guy? I don't know Chad Stevens yet either. He must be new. So welcome to the stream, Mr. Chad Stevens. So the delta I have on NinjaTrader is completely different than the delta I have on Trade-Evade. I don't know what the deal is. The delta on Trade-Evade looks like it put in a double bottom, whereas the NinjaTrader version went lower. Well, the one I'm using on Trade-Evade is actually, oh no, it is, yeah, this is my brokerage account. Yep. Hard to say. That is why. Yeah, it's the same exact account, actually. So same firm, same data feed, just different platform. One's NinjaTrader, one's Trade-Evade. That's literally the only difference. Same exact data feed. I mean, it's barely a lower low. You probably have to do a B adjust on those Lacapo because we just had a rollover in contracts. Click this button right here. This button, see this down here? Bottom right? Right here. Right here. Click that button. All right, Dr. Schaefer, thanks for joining us this morning. I'll be right back. I gotta grab a drink. Anybody taking that price discovery continuation short? Feel like I missed the entry. IB is holding it up. Let's go. Yes. So that was the short setup so far. Now IB low. We've chopped around IB low a couple of times, so it's not, you know, I don't know. We had a low volume node and lower band in the same spot. Obviously, we got, you know, it's 10 points away, so you could take a 10-point scalp, but so, you know, I think we have a serious divergence, Chuck, between ES and NQ. So it's hard to trade a correlation when there's a divergence. You want to trade the correlations when they're closely correlated, not diverging. I mean, we'll probably get the return to value sooner or later. What's the t-shirt? What did I say? I mean, we've had the most buyers we've had all morning right there from 11:08 for the last 8 minutes. Now, was that just a little bit of a short squeeze? I don't know, we'll see. ACH, Chuck. ACH. So those are capitulation candles, pop. And we attach anchored VWAPs to the volume events. And once we re-entered it, right? You know, the bulls tried to take over. Could have been very well just a short squeeze. We've remained in this. Whoa. We've pretty much remained in this channel. We're finally breaking over it. This is price discovery continuation. No, Chuck was saying he said it looked like return to value because ES was trading in the bands, but it was a PDC discovery to the tick. I mean, it went right to it and then sold off. So that was a good 20-point trade or so, 15. Still going. All right, Brian. Good job. It was a good trade. I was a little late, but caught it myself. I got back from getting my drink and I noticed the setup. I saw it, so I got in. I just took it, right? We see the setup, we take the setup. No hesitation. Setup was clearly defined. It was lined up with a low volume node. Also the top of this distribution that has formed on the profile. Also the top of the distribution on ES, which is trading imbalance. Nice, Corey. Good trade. It was a setup. And we know what to call it. So you have to have the same, so you got to be on the same time frame. I'm on the 1 minute. And also you have to have the same settings as me. So I'm taking in the last 10 sessions. Yeah, we caught it on stream, Blair. I announced it here as I. I mean, you do see the big red arrow on my monitor, right? Pointed to it. All right, Sebastian, have a good one, brother. Back to lows. Textbook. We do have a bit of a distribution that's formed down here too. With kind of this low volume node from here to here. All right, Donald. Good work today. This looks like a, I'm not going to take this long.
Iran's foreign minister call with European counterparts says Iran is willing to reach a fair, balanced solution to sanctions and nuclear issues.
Nice. So why was that a long? Anybody see what I saw there? Double bottom, but also value area low, right? Or the distribution that we now have been trading in since 10:45. So for the last 45 minutes, we've been in this distribution, right? So that was the fade value area low. Also a divergence on the delta. Price went down to the bottom, but we have a significantly higher bottom on the delta. So buyers are coming in to swoop to the rescue. Maybe we go back to this point of control at 24-ish. Oh, we got out. I'll get back in if it looks good. Tyler, distribution is a concept from the volume profile. I suggest going through one of my videos on the volume profile to get better familiar with the terms as it relates to the volume profile. It's a high volume node. It's the high volume shelves you see on a profile. So this is a distribution, this is a distribution. And to learn what that means, you should go through the videos. And that's a whole class in of itself. You're welcome, Blair. Have a good one, man. Have a good day. So what we could very well do, guys, from here on is this. Will it rub your shoulders and whisper in your ear when to take the trade? That's the real question, Corey. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. Chuck had to take it to a whole nother level. So, you know, probably looks like we'll do something like that. All right, Corey, thanks for joining us. Nice, G Mickey. The system definitely works. All ye doubters. I'm going to take one off here, put my stop at break even. Stop is now at break even, and I took some profits. Nice, Eric. Well done, sir. Eric's sitting at $1,500 in profits. One loser, all the other trades winners. How many other trades? Just out of curiosity. I'm trading on Tradeovate. S-dub. Up, stop me out. Looks like it stopped me out to the tick, too. Looks like it might be a little bit of a rollover here. I got stopped out. Welcome, Leon. Let's see what gold's doing. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Selling off still at 115. Let's see what baby's doing. Absolutely nothing. Padding my pockets is what baby's doing. Look at this wild crazy. I lost this trade. Ethereum's been chopping around this 500 level for days, all week. Gold. This is yesterday's value area low right here in gold. Could be a good short. At least it's short back to, well, maybe not. Very limited downside, but I think it's a decent trade. Might have been late to the party on the short. We'll see. Tell me you're short without telling me you're short. Is that the bottom? Stopped out all the longs? And rip it? Very lucky, Eric. $3K. I'm in this gold short. It's working. I got filled 2/3 of it so far. Last order is down here at 18.4.
Dow extends gains last time 0.7%.
The problem with ride or die on futures is the leverage when you get liquidated. If you're buying it to hold long time, then, makes sense to be all in. At least you keep the value of the stock. Come on, gold. Keep going, baby. Maybe I'll go for a more of an aggressive. Trail out 5 here. Go for the bigger play. Nice, Eric. Let's go gold. I extended my profit target down to here. So partial profits at 18.4 and then 16.9. Stop out above the low volume node on remaining contracts. Cool. You're trading Apex, I assume, Eric. I don't know any other firm that lets you trade 20 accounts. Just be careful about that 30% rule. Oh, 4 firms? Gotcha.
Nasdaq falls 0.5%.
Profiteer. Profiteur.
US House start using Microsoft Copilot for gas source.
There we go. Gold. Give it up. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's okay, gold. You can fill me. Ah. It's okay. Fill my order, please. Bounce. Right. Oh, there it goes. Come on. Right to my order. Gotta love that. Oh, somebody said something about the market going sideways from here. I don't know who that was. Raising trade debate. System. Man, it's 10 to 12 already. I got just soaked into just hanging out and trading, and I'm gonna close this gold short. See if I can get some fills on it. Yeah, announcements at 2 p.m. All right, gold short, still working. Was anybody brave enough to take that short with me or no? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Look at all those commissions, guys. A lot of commissions for not a lot of profits. Thus is micros. It's all right. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, but the trade worked, JP. Working good. Yeah, gold can be very scary, but you can trade micros. You don't have to trade the minis. The minis is kind of wild. You know, that's some serious leverage. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, guys. Awesome, Jimmy. There you go, Ray. Love it. Thanks for joining my crypto stream last night, by the way.
Broadcom upgraded to A- by S&P.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here for the day. Good recovery, JP. Happy to hear it. Let's see if Apex pays me. I don't think the odds are good. I did break their 30% rule. So we'll see. I'm not hopeful, but yeah, let's vote. Here, let's do a quick vote. We're going to do a vote. Who thinks Apex will pay me? Okay. I definitely broke the 30% rule. No doubt about it. I don't think they're going to watch the stream, you think? Such a stupid rule. It was like literally 2 minutes, if that. Wow, overwhelming majority say no. It's not making a strong case for Apex. Yeah, you can keep trading your account. We're just not going to pay you. This is a soft rule where you have to keep working, submit it, and then maybe you'll get paid. So it's 30% of your profit can't be risked on a single trade, Ali. So I don't know how you fix that. It happened. It's not like it's 30% of your profit or loss is a percentage of, it's different. Who said yes? Ah, he's the optimistic one, guys. Y'all are a bunch of pessimists, apparently. Appreciate the good vibes, Mickey. From your keyboard to God's ears. Now, supposedly the account's not done. They'll put like some type of benchmarks in place that if I can continue trading, I'll get a payout. Something like that. I don't know. They let me keep the account. Juan, I don't know of any other firm that has that 30% rule. It's unique to Apex. But that's what you get for $15 evaluations and $100 activation fees. Cheapest in the game. No, I think I can still get a payout. They're gonna probably give me new rules or something like that, and I have to trade for another 8 days, and then maybe I can get the payout. That's how I understand it anyway. We'll see. I don't know if I'll even do that. Gold short. Nobody took it with me. Nobody trusted me. It's now up 3.5 points from that high where we took it, where I called it, right up here. Right up here, I said it. What was up there? Low volume node. Upper band. Low volume node. B setup, at least. No, I don't think top one's rules are that strict. I've had no problems getting payouts from top one. I just got one on Monday. So I've gotten 3 payouts. They've paid me every single one of them, including with 10-second trades. There was a bunch of them in there. They don't care about having a, they care about if like half of your trades are 10 seconds. I am also going to let Jerome do his thing. I will not be trading for that. I will be watching, but I won't be trading. All right, guys. Wonderful stream today, guys. My code for top one is Drysdale. Also, check out the prop firm channel. For Apex, it's Drysdale1. Of course, they have to be unique and have to have a number in there. That's for Apex. So, guys, have a great day. If you're going to keep trading through this insanity, I wish you to manage your risk and stay sharp out there. If you had a good morning, I want you to seriously consider wrapping up for the day. Lock yourself out, right? Things are going to get highly volatile, most likely, and we could see some massive wick candles. If you are going to trade FOMC, I highly recommend that you do not have a position before or directly after. All right, easily you can get liquidated by a massive print candle in either direction or in both directions. I suggest waiting 5-10 minutes, let things at least cool down a little bit, and then maybe take some trades. And then even some firms do have the lockout for FOMC. I know Take Profit Trader doesn't let you trade it. News. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. in the Discord For premium members, YouTube at 10 a.m. on the delayed stream. And I'll see everybody in the morning. If you have any questions or want to go over trades in the Discord, tag me. I'll be happy to review. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the FOMC.